And there's that theme music again. It means it's time for Sound Sessions here at WKGC FM 90.7. And we're looking at an hour's worth of local music, news about local music. And I'm Tom Hoots. And joining me at the table today, we have Becca Stark, our engineer. Hello, Becca. You can talk in that thing. It's called a microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. And our producer, I have to be nice to her, is Angela Small. How are you today?
I am fantastic. I'm well rested after my vacation.
Oh, that's right. You were off. I'm jealous. Down at the other end is the man with the master roll of duct tape that keeps this operation going, Steve Youngblood. How are you today, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, good. And our guest today is an old friend of mine, been working with him, well, at least a couple of decades, maybe a little longer, maybe a quarter of a century. Gene Mitchell.
That sounds a lot older than 2 decades.
Why?
Even though it's only 5 years more.
It's only 5 years more. It's been a little over 2 decades. We're not coming up. We got another year or so to go before we're at a quarter of a century. But yes, Gene's a local musician and has agreed to join us today. So, first of all, Gene, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Got up early and was prepared and since 10 o'clock, so I've been looking forward to it.
Okay, good. Now, I met you back in the early 2000s. It may have been a little before that when I first met you. But tell us a little bit about Gene Mitchell. What brought Gene Mitchell to the Emerald Coast?
Well, research. I was a musician, and I joined the Navy and did 21 years in the Navy, and I was in Seattle. Of course, I joined in Jacksonville, and I'm originally from the coast of Georgia, St. Simon's Island, right around that area. So I'm used to being on the beach. And I researched actually the Texas coast and the Florida coast, actually from Pensacola all the way to Key West. The reason was Texas and Florida. I wanted to go back really to Florida, but Texas and Florida both did not have any state income tax, and I didn't want my military pension taxed if I could help it.
Good for you.
So Texas, they were playing my music in Houston and Galveston area, and so I'd already been touring down there, even while I was still in the Navy. But I got out in December of '98 is when I retired, and then I hit the road in June of 2000 and arrived here August the 2nd. One of the reasons I ended up here, I put all my stuff in storage in Pensacola and I went to Key West, but then somebody with a booking agent, it wasn't Todd, but somebody else had suggested Panama City Beach. So I did what I always did. It's a good idea to do this, too, when you're going to move and you're a musician. I ordered the newspaper, the edition that has all the entertainment in it. I did that everywhere I transferred from St. Louis to Southern California to San Francisco to Seattle, everywhere. And I'd get it, and I would write. I could tell the musician, if there's one musician, they would hire. I would write those people in advance and try to set up work, because I did that on the side even in the Navy. But coming here in Panama City Beach, I got a call, and it was at Schooners. And so I gave them 3 conditions. I said, okay, I'll drive down there. Condition 1 is I'll go down there, and I will sing for 1 hour. Number 2 condition, the person can say yes or no, has to be there. And number 3, after 1 hour, you say you're no good or you're hired. And luckily for me, Bill Sparkman was there. He owned Schooners and what was the other one that just tore down?
Oh, wow.
Spinnaker.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I kept wanting to say La Vila.
So anyway, I played a couple, 2 or 3 songs, and he said that, that's good. He said, I don't want you at Schooner. So I ended up playing the rest of that season at Spinnaker and the following season. And I rented a condo for 7 months and then bought a house on the beach in Summer Breeze. And so, I had work. So I moved here and been here 25 years.
Wow. All right. Well, like I said, somehow it's strange that you started out at Spinnaker's, but a lot of people didn't like playing there when it was up sometimes. I think it was a little weird for some people to play.
We had Andy Redmond in that, but they were there.
They were there.
Yeah.
I met him pretty soon right after that. I was playing by the pool, 1 to 5, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, after about, they had somebody playing after me, I think 6 to 10 by the pool. And the songs I was playing, Sparky came over and he said, hey, listen, how about you switch it? I want you to play at 6 because the songs you're playing are a little bit more modern and they're good for opening for the band. And he put me on the main stage in the shade.
In the shade.
That's always a good play.
So I played 6 to 10 and I loved that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember '82 when they cut that album. Andy Redman and Walt Fletcher cut that album from Spinnaker 2.
Mm-hmm.
I played that on Trop Rock on Sunday night. Yeah, we'll be live from 1982, 83.
They were called The Captain and the Kid.
Captain and the Kid.
Yeah, he gave me an album too, but it was warped.
Yeah.
You see my beautiful mug on the back?
That was, I don't know if anybody noticed that. That was a poorly disguised plug for, Steve has a Trop Rock show on Sunday.
I play a lot
evenings.
of Gene, too, so if you want to hear some more of Gene, tune in on Sunday. Plus, me and Gene's going to get together and get his new stuff going, too. So.
Yeah, we got to get... He produces so much stuff that it's hard to keep up with him.
It is.
There's 172 songs.
My nickname of him is the Energizer Bunny. Because, you know what? I don't know how this man does it. He stays out there in that heat, and he keeps going, and he keeps going, and he keeps going.
Well, I was raised on the beach in Georgia. So, you know.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
All right, Gene, what do you say we stop talking about you and we can maybe listen to you a little bit? Do you want to find a song for us?
Yeah, I'll do that. One of the things about songwriting, they come all the time. And I've got about 15 songs that are unreleased and ready to go. But just words come off almost any event. So this particular song, I actually, when I first moved here, let's see, the copyright on this is 2003. My son was still in college, and he came to visit me, and I took him deep sea fishing. And I was watching what they were doing and how it went down. And so I went down to old treasure ship hooks. Mm-hmm. And in the morning when they were getting ready to go, and I watched them, and then I went back at happy hour and watched them unload, which was actually a lot better environment at happy hour than it was at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I thought this makes a very good, what they're doing makes a very good song idea, that, kind of like a musician when you do it full time. You're doing what you love. So that's basically what I wrote, and it's just called Captains. So I play it now?
Sure.
You got it? In the stillness of the morning, on the docks along the bay, the smell of bait fish, the sound of tackle, welcomes the day. As captains greet new faces, the deckhands smile and yawn. Passengers are unaware they were up way before the dawn. Captains steer their boats towards the morning sun, working hard each day so the passengers have fun. It's not an easy life they're living, but they're living a life of ease, doing what most will never do. Captains live their dream. When they were young, they took up fishing to mentally escape a constant world of hustle was soon left in their wake. They dreamed of growing older and a big boat of their own, going fishing every day and to call the ocean home. Captains steer their boats towards the morning sun, working hard each day so the passengers have fun. It's not an easy life they're living, but they're living a life of ease, doing what most will never do. Captains live their dream. In the stillness of the evening, there's a flickering of lights from boats all clean and ready to welcome the night. Captains toast each other with feet propped on the rails. Each day's another chapter in an endless fishing tale. Captains steer their boats towards the morning sun, working hard each day so the passengers have fun. It's not an easy life they're living, but they're living a life of ease, doing what most will never do. Captains live their dream. It's not an easy life they're living, but they're living a life of ease, doing what most will never do. Captains live their dream. Well, you can't hear it see it on the radio, but you can. The headphones were slipping off, and I was trying to keep them on my head.
Yeah, we will be posting that video, and the fact that obviously you've been a performer a long time, that you could put up with playing a song and the fact your headphones were slipping off the back of your head is actually very impressive. That is very true. You look at these people who have been doing this their entire life, the charter boat captains, and it's got to be a tough existence.
Yeah. It's real tough nowadays.
Well, now you've got lots of regulations, high fuel prices.
You know, I worked that in the 80s. That's where I worked on the boats. I worked for Captain Joel Knowles for quite a while and worked down there on those boats. And at that time, we'd run 3 or 4 trips a day. And we always, with all the regulations, fishing's not what it used to be. And it's hard to make a living at it anymore. There's not many left. Most of the really good ones, basically, they died off or they got out of it. And it's so expensive to run the boat, people can't afford it anymore. It's
well,
terrible.
the treasure ship, had a lot of boats there, and they're gone. But, in 25 years, a lot can happen, and things change.
Yeah,
and
it sure did.
All of the boats are gone out of the downtown marina, and there's not that many charters anymore. Even along the road there in St. Andrews, it was just a line of charter boats, and there's only a few left there now.
My brother's is tied to the dock behind the house, and so is mine. Because there's not enough money in it to afford to rent the stall to put it in anymore. You're talking charging somebody $250 an hour to go fishing.
Yeah. It's how is either one of you guys know, how is the Captain Anderson's fleet doing? Delta, what was it, Gemini Queen, the Queen fleet, I guess.
The party boats, I think, do fairly good because everybody can afford to go on them and all. I believe the party boats do good. It's just the little guy that has more of the problem because the cost is so much more with fuel and all to run the boats.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe a lifestyle that fortunately Gene wrote about, so that it's what it's about is not lost because it may well disappear.
The tourism has changed. I live on the west end of the beach, and I haven't been to Captain Anderson's in years, but down on that end of the beach, things have changed so much with Pier Park and all the things that are due there. Years ago, people used to come to go to the beach, and then they'd go out to dinner and eat. And they'd be on the beach. Now there's so much to do other than just lay on the beach. There's still a lot of people on the beach, but there's so many other activities they can do with the I don't want to give them a lot of advertisement, but the Ripley's, believe it or not, and the Wonderworks, all these things that people used to putt maybe in the day and then go to the beach. That's what they had. There's just so much to do here. Fishing's not just, it's not a fishing port anymore. Hey, let's go fishing,
They've added a lot of things. They have.
I never would have thought Pier Park was going to be, when I first read about that going in, I'm going, are these guys okay, or what are they thinking about? And boy, was I wrong on that. They've just built Pier Park until they ran out of room.
Yeah, it would have been sooner. I think after 9/11, they put it on hold.
Yeah.
But now they got the new golf. It's operational now. The 2 or 3 story golf driving range, and there's more coming.
Yeah.
If Disney said they're coming here, I might have to move.
I gotta agree with that one.
I think all of us will have to go find a new place to stay.
We'll go over to the Forgotten Coast. And get forgotten.
Don't tell anybody about the Forgotten Coast, Steve. It's forgotten. But yeah,
Well,
that's
hide with the alligator.
one of the last few really chunks of unspoiled coastline in Florida is between here and Tampa, along that whole area. It's beautiful and it's wild, and
the Bellamy brothers live over there somewhere. I think it's outside of Perry, ain't it? It's in some of that vacant land. Tons of land. They got tons of land.
They do, and they got houses down in south, East Florida too, around Miami area. They've had those since they had the big records. So,
okay. You want to do another one for us, Gene?
Sure. It'll segue right into what we've been talking about. The changes that have happened. I actually wrote another song later, but this particular song, it does mention the change. When I first moved here, a lot of people I met when I were playing, they said, "Oh, yeah, you moved here?" I said, "Yeah, I live here now." And they would say, "Oh, one day I'm going to do that, And so I kind of based this, actually it's the first song I wrote about my wife when I met her. And I used her as an example. And I didn't know much about her except what she told me. And I know she's listening, so I'm trying to get in good. But anyway, it's based on anybody, but this is how I call it Forever on the Emerald Coast. Emerald Coast of Florida, down on the Gulf of Mexico. She says she's got to go. Memories of childhood, walks along the beach holding Dad's hand, castles in the sand. The lifetime has come and gone, measured by weekends, visiting the place her heart has always been. One day she'll say goodbye to the life she knows and live forever on the Emerald Coast. Redneck Riviera, it's not what it used to be when she was small. Progress consumes us all. Standing on the snow-white sand, looking out onto the emerald sea, it's the same as it used to be. A lifetime has come and gone, measured by weekends, visiting the place her heart has always been. One day she'll say goodbye to the life she knows and live forever on the Emerald Coast. From the days of a young girl's laughter, through spring breaks and all years after, in her heart she has always known. No matter the time or sacrifice, one day she'll return to paradise and make the Gulf of Mexico her home. The lifetime has come and gone, measured by weekends, visiting the place her heart has always been. One day she'll say goodbye to the life she knows and live forever on the Emerald Coast. She's gonna say goodbye to the life she knows and live forever on the Emerald Coast.
I like the addition of the Redneck Riviera, because truly when I moved here, people were making fun of me up north. Oh, you're moving to Lower Alabama, or you're moving to the Redneck Riviera. Well, we've come a long... I moved here in 1979. This place has come a long, long way. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Gene Mitchell, and I'm going to play one of my very favorite songs. I'm not actually going to play it. I'm going to, well, Becca's going to press the button. But anyway, probably the very first song we ever worked on together.
Support comes from Visit Tallahassee. Tallahassee, Florida is where natural beauty, history, and culture unite with 700 miles of trails, contemporary dining, and captivating events. Getaway plans are at visittallahassee.com. Tallahassee, pretty unexpected. Commodore's Care at Gulf Coast State College highlights how students and employees are making a difference in Bay, Gulf, and Franklin counties. By volunteering, they foster growth and inspire positive change in our community. Learn more about these efforts at gulfcoast.edu/volunteer.
WKGC brings you Jazz in a Minor Key, taste of the ever-evolving jazz scene for your workday afternoon. You'll hear standards along with tracks from contemporary jazz artists. It's your little jazz club on the radio. Jazz in a Minor Key airs Monday through Friday afternoon on your local public radio station, WKGC 90.7 FM and HD.
Weekdays at 1 p.m. on WKGC.
And we're back here on Sound Sessions on WKGC FM 90.7. I'm your host, Tom Hoots, and we're in studio today with Gene Mitchell, a local artist. And I've known Gene, as I confessed earlier, for coming up on a quarter of a century. And every time I hear this song, I have to think about what we were doing back then when I first met him. And this is one of my very favorite songs that Gene ever did, and it was maybe it was just because it was the first song I ever worked on with you. But anyway, here it is, what I've always considered the Gene Mitchell flagship song, Greetings from Florida.
Greetings from Florida, I wish you were here. Florida is beautiful every day of the year. Each morning you'll find me down at the beach. Sunglasses, a beach chair, and a cooler not far from reach. A cold drink to quench my thirst, the sun to warm my bones. Every day I'm in Florida, it feels more and more like home. Greetings from Florida, hey, I'm having fun. Florida is wonderful, laid back life in the sun. At noon you will find me having lunch in the shade, meeting all of the tourists who tell me I've got it made. No reason to head back north when vacation ends. Tomorrow morning I'll just get up and start vacation again. Greetings from Florida. Spend the days swimming and fishing, sailing the bay, relaxing and wishing you were here to share it all with me. Greetings from Florida, best place that I found. Florida is calling you, it's time to slow down. The moonlit evenings, sunshine all day. Perhaps when you get here, you might want to stay. It might sound like I'm trying to brag, but mean to rub it in. I know you will be here soon with love until then. Greetings from Florida. Greetings from Florida. Greetings from
All right. Gene played that along with his recording in here in the studio pretty much flawlessly. I was really impressed.
I haven't played it probably a couple of, when I moved to a new album, I started playing those songs. It's been about 20 years or more. And I thought, I'm listening to it, and I thought, yes, I remember that, yeah.
I was going to ask you when we got back. Now, you must still play this song once in a while, or you wouldn't be able to perform it that well.
No, I don't. I haven't played it. Actually, the last time I played it was 2007 because, that was the year when I played the Capital One, the college championship halftime show, and they opened with that.
Oh, I remember.
But lucky for me, they only did a little bit of it in the beginning while the dancers got on the field. Then we did Vacation.
That was something I completely forgot about. I did with you was resyncing those songs to
the saxophone.
Yes.
We needed a saxophone part,
Yeah, and they had to be, we beat changed some of them to keep all the beats the same or something. We did a bunch of...
Oh, it was time constraint. That halftime show was so well done that, of course, I think the Wisconsin and Arkansas band, they played.
Yeah.
And he said, whenever we hit, when I say this has been an ESPN production, as soon as I say production, run to the 50-yard line and run to the end zone. Well, he said that, and there were 800-something dancers on and the stage on the field. We walked to the 50-yard line, walked to the end zone, turned around. Not only was everybody gone, they had already kicked the ball off and was tackling them on the other end. So it was precise what we had to do in the studio, too.
We had no choice. That was just an amazing thing. Just suddenly Gene calls me and said, we got to work on a bunch of songs. You need to go to the studio now. I need to work on these songs. And I found out that you were
them down because we were only playing. It was 6.5 minutes, and we played 4 songs, so we had to really just play portions of them. And it was promoting Florida.
But it was really cute because they were the outfits that the people were wearing and everything were very touristy looking. I thought the whole thing was just enormously well done. Anyway, that was probably the biggest audience you'd worked with in a while.
Well, I always tell people I've played for 65,000 people. Live before maybe 30,000 were getting a hot dog.
Maybe 30,000 were off getting hot dogs. But then there was the national audience, too, because that was broadcast.
Yeah, that was ABC. It was New Year's Day. I mean, Prince played the Super Bowl. I played the college championship game. So they estimated about 17 million, so I tell people 12 million.
Okay. Well, it's one of those things where I liked your show better than Prince's anyway, so there you go. Not that I was prejudiced in the least. Okay. What you got for us? What's next on your thing? We're gonna do one more. I think if we have the time, I want to do one more later on in the show. I want to do that. Your happy song, recording. Your happy song.
Well, let me do this because, as you know, now I've worked with a lot of musicians over the years. Southern California, San Francisco, Seattle, and when I moved here, of course. When you're in St. Louis, I was stationed there. You're playing the blues and some jazz. Same thing in Seattle. San Francisco, Southern California, it was more of the California style of Doobie Brothers, Eagles. And when I moved here, of course, it was the Jimmy Buffett, and the beach stuff. And that was actually before Zach Brown and Kenny Chesney started really coming on the scene doing it. So, in fact, in 2000 in Seattle, I had produced and wrote an album. I featured a Jimmy Buffett saxophone player and Kenny G's guitar player on the album. So when I got here, it was a whole different world because I'd come out and playing this jazz and blues with a little bit of an island theme in the lyrics. So when I got here, I didn't even buy my first Jimmy Buffett CD until 1999, and that's because I sent a song to him, and somebody actually called me back and said, "It's a good song, but the next album, is more eclectic." So I started listening to it. So anyway, been a big influence on me. And when he passed away, I thought it was ironic that his first hit was Come Monday, and it's the only song I knew that mentioned Labor Day. I think I mentioned that along with some other holidays and a song later than his. But it was his first hit, and he died on Labor Day weekend, Friday.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
So anyway, I was thinking about that, and I thought about, he's got a whole genre. They call it trop rock. And he created a whole genre that was really an inclusive of almost every style. And so I thought I would write a tribute to that effect and give him the credit. So that's what I'm going to play. And I call it Sailing in Jimmy's Wake. And actually, when I started the song, the wake was behind the boat. I didn't realize that when he would pass away,
Wow.
it could also serve as a wake and a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if we do that. Elvis was the king of rock and roll. Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul. Hank Williams brought us that country twang. Buddy Holly, oh boy, the way he sang. The Falcons started that Cajun rage. Patsy Cline on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Scott Joplin was the king of ragtime. Ray Charles singing Georgia on my mind. And then along came Jimmy Buffett singing his island songs. Boats, beaches, bars, and ballads had everyone singing along. He's right up there with all the great musicians that came before his day. All that follow his course, make no mistake, they're just sailing in Jimmy's wake. James Brown sang and danced with pizzazz. Ella Fitzgerald, the first lady of jazz. Chet Atkins was fast with those guitar licks. Reggie Young played guitar on hundreds of hits. Jelly Roll Morton, all the jazz he composed. Robert Johnson's Delta Blues down at the crossroads. And all of these greats I've been talking about, let me add, they're all from the South. And then along came Jimmy Buffett singing his island songs. Boats, beaches, bars, and ballads had everyone singing along. He's right up there with all the great musicians that came before his day. All that follow his course, make no mistake, they're just sailing in Jimmy's wake. Now that little boy named Jimmy, born on Christmas Day in Mississippi, his name rides the waves across the sea and written in the sands of history. He lived his life like a lifetime cruise. He made his mark, he paid his dues. His compass points to the sky. His star still shines bright. He got his wings and took off in flight. Then along came Jimmy Buffett singing his island songs. Boats, beaches, bars, and ballads had everyone singing along. He's right up there with all the great musicians that came before his day. All that follow his course, make no mistake, they're just sailing in Jimmy's wake. Hands up, smooth sailing in Jimmy's wake.
Wow, that's great. And you got almost everybody in there, too. It's
I wanted to include Chuck Berry, but he was from St. Louis. I had to throw him out, even though he moved to Mississippi. But then I found Jelly Roll Morton. So there you go.
Okay. But, yeah, that was great. And a very fitting tribute, I think, to the certainly the number one name in trop rock.
Oh, yeah.
An island music, I prefer to call it. But so, Steve, you're going to add this to your library, I would imagine.
Oh, yes. Yep. And a few more I got, too. Plus, we're going to have a surprise coming out at Christmas time. We're going to get together.
Oh,
me
wow.
and Jane's going to have a surprise coming for everybody.
Good, I got a new Christmas album out.
Yeah.
We'll play all 10 of them.
We'll play all 10 of them over and over again and get everybody to download it and buy it.
Which brings me to, where can we get stuff from, I mean, I actually know, but where can we get Gene Mitchell product, Gene Mitchell records, Gene Mitchell music, book Gene Mitchell for our next big event? How do we do that?
Well, GeneMitchell.com. With a G now. I'm not French and I'm not Jeanette.
Okay.
So it's Gene with a G. But also SailorBoyRecords.com goes to the same site. And if you search that, it'll be probably the first 8 or 10 because I've had .com for a long time.
Yes, you have.
But all the songs, there's over 170-something songs. They're on iTunes, Spotify, all the, Amazon. You can take your Amazon stick and say, play Gene Mitchell music. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it will go to Joni Mitchell, but so you have to talk very clear.
You have to talk very clear. Gene with a G, yes. Mitchell.
And Sailor Boy Records at AOL. It's the email.
Yeah, I can't.
Bookings. Yeah.
You and I are the last two people on the planet have AOL.
I didn't even know AOL was still around.
I wouldn't have it because they charge for it, but I wouldn't have it. Of course, I get the what do you call it, virus protection.
Yeah.
But it's on CDs and stuff dating way back in 30 years ago. Well, so I got to keep it.
I have tried to get other emails that said Studio 812 on them. I can't, but I have one that says Studio 812 from AOL. So yeah, you kind of get stuck with them. It works. It's just strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, any dates coming up around here you want?
Oh yes, I'm playing today at Margaritaville, 5 to 8. I play there every Tuesday. Now through when school goes back in, I think the first or second week of August.
Okay.
I play at Runaway Island year-round, Friday and Saturday. But I'm also playing every other Wednesday. So I'm playing tonight at Margaritaville, tomorrow, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week at Runaway Island. Runaway Island 6 to 10. And then after that, it's every other Wednesday. Tuesdays at Margaritaville, every other Wednesday at Runaway Island, and Friday and Saturdays at Runaway Island year-round. But if you go to genemitchell.com or sailorboy.records.com, just click the gigs button icon, and it's all there.
So there's absolutely no excuse for not being able to go out and get your Gene Mitchell fix, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I told you he's the Energizer Bunny.
He is.
I don't know how he does it.
That's a lot of gigs.
Man.
That's a lot. You're playing almost...
You drank Red Bull?
No.
Oh.
So you're playing like 300 gigs a year?
I got an espresso.
Oh, you must have a good espresso.
It must be a good espresso.
We need to drink what he's
drinking.
Double
espressos are, ooh.
Yeah, you're talking 250, 300 gigs a year then, aren't you?
Well, in the winter, I'm usually just Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So, I used to do 7 nights a week and then 5. And then I actually cut Runaway down. Well, I was doing Wednesday through Sunday several years ago with Margaritaville on Tuesday. I said, by Sunday, my voice is done. So I just got out Wednesday. When they went year-round Friday and Saturday, I just said, hey, just how about no Wednesdays and Thursdays, just Friday, Saturday, year-round.
Okay.
So.
Well, I think we're going to take another quick break here, and we'll be back with... oh, that's right. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble with the producer now. Steve, you're going to have to help me here.
You get hit with your own drumstick.
Yeah, she's going to hit me with a drumstick again. I hate that when that happens.
You did look at me like you didn't realize I was sitting here.
I just got it confused that you were coming in at the end. And because we're going to do what's happening, I do have one that just binged into my radio, in my cell phone here. A few things from Roberts Hall. We've been doing a lot of work with Roberts Hall. It's just a neat place, and a lot of local artists. That's one of their better places to gig, and it is a relatively serious gig. I mean, you go to Roberts Hall and listen to somebody. You're going to listen to music. You're not going to get a drink or sit around at dinner and have dinner and stuff. It's a good listening venue. Anyway, I have from Roberts Hall on Friday night, June 13th. If I can keep my phone on, we have Honey Boy and Boots, a husband and wife duo from Starkville, Mississippi. You know where that is, Gene?
I said Mississippi.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what I do without you. And along with vocals from Masselina Cargo and Tracy Mick. And the doors are at 6:30 then. And they have another one on the 14th, Admiral Radio, a husband and wife duo from near Asheville, North Carolina. Boy, I hope they didn't get flooded. Along with local Dave Woods, who will be our guest on Sound Sessions next week. We've had his brother on maybe 2 or 3 times, Chris Woods, and Woods the band. And Nora Bass will be downstairs at Roberts Hall starting at 7, doors are at 6:30, and so we got back-to-back Friday and Saturdays next week at Roberts Hall. And now Angela has some other places if you need a place to go and relax.
Yes, I have stuff for this week. Now, we've got, tonight we've got Ben Lake at Little Village and Fins at 6. Scratch 2020 is at the Dive at 6:30. And we have Jay Gurley at the Alibi at 7. Now, tomorrow is String Theory at the Doc PCB at 6. Fuzz Huzzy. I really didn't want to mess that name up.
Okay.
And their Extreme Tour, and they'll be at the Panama City Skate Park at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We've got the Blues Masters Tribute Show celebrating B.B. King, Eric Clapton, and Santana, just to name a few of the greats. And it's happening at Captain Anderson's on Wednesday at 6 p.m. We've got Brian Muth at Little Village at 6. And both Charlie Seeger and Nicholas and Meadows at the Alibi on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got the True Soul Duo at the House of Henry at 7. The Panama City Beaches Summer Concert Series at Aaron Besant Park, and that's from 7 to 9 p.m. And Thursday, it will feature Grateful Dads and the Foxy Vox. Let's see, Friday, we've got Nora Bass at the House of Henry at 6. Jason Ray at the History Class Brewing Company at 6. We've got Hanson LaBeouf at Little Village and Fins at 6. The Lee Boys featuring Melody Trucks at Mosey's Downtown at 8. And both Randy Watson and Velvet Gypsy at the Alibi on Friday. Saturday, that's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to be bored.
Right. Now, Saturday is the Northwest Florida Pride Fest Art Market and Block Party. Now, that's from 3 to 9 p.m., and they will have animal adoptions, family-friendly fun, live music, and entertainment, just to name a few of the available activities at the event. We've got Janelle Frost at the House of Henry at 5 p.m. Also on Saturday, we've got Emily Springsteen at the History Class Brewing Company at 6. Both Stevie Months and Frank Fletcher at the Alibi. We've got the Elvis Presley Tribute Concert at Neon's Bar at 6 p.m. And we have Joseph Brooks and Dashboard Chihuahuas performing at Little Village.
Dashboard Dogs.
Now, Sunday, this is the end of the week for
This is the end of the week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is closed on Mondays, but Sunday we've got Leanna Carter at Little Village and Fins at 1. Agonize from Savannah, Georgia, and Rotten Remains with their first local show will be at Mosey's Downtown at 7:30. And we have both Kindred Spirits and Steve's Karaoke at the Alibi on Sunday night. Now, earlier you guys mentioned, not talking about the Forgotten Coast, but, I'm across the line for a good Save the Date event. All right. Now, it is the Fins Up on the Forgotten Coast Music Festival. Now, it's happening August 29th through the 31st, and it is a trop rock music festival celebrating Jimmy Buffett's Day, and it's all to benefit the Franklin County Schools music program.
Good benefit.
Okay, now.
And Gene's going to be there.
I will.
Now, I was wondering, because I'm hearing that you're going to be there.
I'll be there with my band, the Tropic Sands Band. We'll be there in Carabel on Saturday at the Lighthouse.
Okay.
And then we'll be at Mangrove Mike's on Sunday. And then you're going to be where? You're going to be there one day, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm just Sunday because I'm at Runaway.
He's going to be at Sunday, yeah.
I think I'm at the brewery somewhere around 1 o'clock, and then at the Blue Parrot right on the beach on St. George Island later that afternoon. But it's on Gene.
And Todd Sparks is also going to be there, and Steve Hopper, and also I think we've got, I think Don Middlebrook's going to be there too, and several others. It's going to be a bunch of people. It's a free event, and believe me, it helps to buy uniforms and all for the band over there in Apalachicola. So everybody come out.
And if you haven't gone down there and looked at that place, it really is a gorgeous look into into kind of what we were here 30 years ago. It's just amazing. Great recovery from the storms they've had gone through there. A great place. Get to see what old Florida looked like down there. a good place
to
be.
It sounds like the spot to be.
The spot to be.
Yeah, right. So be sure to save the date for the Fins Up on the Forgotten Coast Music Festival, and that's August 29th through the 31st. And be sure to stay tuned for more information on that fantastic lineup. Now, speaking of local music, if you are an artist or a band with a show coming up, we can help you spread the word. And if you want to be featured live on Sound Sessions, we can totally make that happen as well. And be sure to follow us on social media. We are Sound Sessions on Facebook and Sound Sessions 907 on Instagram. Or you can just shoot us an email at soundsessions907@gmail.com with all of your show details. And you can also catch all of our live performances on our YouTube channel, WKGC Sound Sessions 907. Now, together, we can make local music, keep local music alive right here on WKGC 90.7 FM.
Nothing but the blues, baby. I'm Dr. Sky Dobro, and I'm Shuffle Shoes, and we invite you to hear some of the best blues anywhere, right here on the Friends of the Blues radio show. You'll hear great artists such as Howlin' Wolf, Delbert McClinton, the Reba Russell Band. It's the Friends of the Blues. Won't you join us every week?
Thursdays at 8 p.m. on WKGC.
Dancing was an important part of the culture in the Baroque era, and the French king in particular loved dancing. One of his court musicians, Jean-Baptiste Lully, contributed to a huge collection called Choreography, and his music is among the highlights on Sunday Baroque this weekend.
Sundays at 10 a.m. on WKGC.
And we're back here on WKGC FM 90.7. You're listening to Sound Sessions, and I'm Tom Hoots, and I'm here with Becca, my engineer, my producer, Angela, the radio engineer, Steve Youngblood, and our special guest today, Gene Mitchell. And we were just, our breaks aren't very long. I guess that we should brag about that, but we were just discussing a song I wanted to play off of the archives here. And when we record, I actually remember recording this with you and asking you when you came in from the studio, where'd that come from? And you looked at me like, well, outside my window? It really is. And this is a song, if you're stressed and you just want to calm down and listen to something, it's a very, very positive message song. There's not a lot of those. Very positive message, and for me, it's always just been very calming. So, here it is. It's called Outside My Window by Gene Mitchell.
Every new day invites me to get up.
And that's a very, very positive message. I noticed you did pretty good. We get to hear Gene playing along with Gene in this studio here, and he was doing pretty good on that one too. And I doubt you ever really played that song much.
I don't think I've ever played that live, except when I was writing it before I recorded it, maybe a little bit after. But as I was listening to it, I always loved that part. And then the strings, was real. That was actually real violins. It wasn't a machine. They copied that, what I did on the demo, and I always loved that part of it. So much as I was playing along, I thought I might have to just include that in my repertoire now and bring it back.
And that song has such a happy, positive message, and it also kind of makes you want to get up off the couch and go do something. And like I said, I've always thought that was... I don't know. I think one of the newscasts I watch on the weekend said that they always want to end with something positive, because we don't hear a lot of positive, and that's sort of what I think of your song. Thank you. Great thing. What have you? We got time for at least one more. He keeps looking at his watch. I think he's he's done with us, Steve. I think.
No, I'm good.
No, but in all seriousness, do you have another one you'd like to?
Yeah, you know what? This is an interesting song. I'd never sit down and play it. It's a little difficult, but I'll do it. This song just came about when I first moved here. My son, I talked about, he came down and visited. Well, it was really cold that first 2000, so we went down to Tampa, and what I got, about 3.5 minutes. This is about 3.
We'll be fine.
I can make it quick.
Yeah, we'll be
anyway,
fine. We got 6 minutes.
He was watching MTV, and I thought, son, when the rest of your life, you're going to see that video in your head. But when I grew up, it was where we were, what we were doing, and who we were with when we first heard the song. That's our video. So, it's called Classic Songs, and there's 23 classic song titles within the song. Take me back to my old high school, it's never too late. Sing along with classic songs, they open the gate to those memories of long, long ago. There was no MTV, just the radio, and we sang songs like we've only just begun. And we danced, and we lived like a band on the run. We all sang along with all those classic songs. Listen to the music, you can use it to stay young at heart. Can't buy me love and can't get enough of the good songs to start. Reminiscing about friends that we know and where we were when we heard those songs on the radio. And we sang songs like we've only just begun. And we danced and we lived like a band on the run. We all sang along with all those classic songs. We don't have to say goodbye. Yellow brick road, American pie. Girls and boys become women and men, like Jack and Diane. We remember when we sang songs like we've only just begun. And we danced and we lived like a band on the run. Yes, we sang all through those summer nights, and we danced as everybody was dancing in the moonlight. We all sang along with all those classic songs. We still sing along with all those classic songs.
You got those song titles stuffed in there.
Actually, I only intended about 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and I did a contest with lyrics, and people kept finding song titles within them.
Wow.
So they found 23.
23 song titles in one song. And, you can tell how much Steve likes this song by whether or not he's playing drums on the desk here in the radio station. And he was just getting with it there. So I suspect Stephen really liked that song.
Yeah, I like that song.
And I wrote that in Southern California, so obviously not the Jimmy Buffett sound, the more of the California kind of,
more of a Beach
pop.
Boys.
Yeah, it was a little
Beach Boys slap Wrecking Crew type sound.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. Anyway, that's an amazing tune, and you have advertised a good chunk of songs at that point. You got Van Morrison in there. I mean, what the heck? I mean, really, I'm impressed. We're coming. How much more? We got about 2 minutes left. Again, Gene, how do we get hold of you?
Gene, with a G, Gene, Mitchell.com, SailorBoyRecords.com, or SailorBoyRecords@AOL.com, or just Google Gene Mitchell or Sailor Boy Records, and it'll be right there.
Okay. And you're going to be appearing now until the end of
Tuesdays,
time?
Margaritaville, 5 to 8, throughout the till the middle of August, and Runaway Island every other Wednesday, starting this Wednesday, tomorrow. It's every other Wednesday through the summer, and then Friday and Saturday at Runaway Island year-round.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of what is obviously a very busy schedule to join us here on Sound Sessions, and we hope to get you back. And I have a feeling we're going to be hearing more of Gene Mitchell on our Trop Rock show now too. So get yourself a boat drink and listen to Trop Rock Radio with Steve.
You may just call him the Energizer Bunny, and y'all know who I'm talking about.
Okay. Exactly.
He takes the licking and keeps on ticking.
He does. Okay. Well, this has been Sound Sessions here on WKGC FM 90.7. I'm Tom Hoots, and hope to see you back here next week. Have a good day.